It's our honor to go out on the video chat line to join Tyron Brackenridge, longtime friend of this province and now a friend of this program. T-Brock is in Hawaii this morning. How you doing, Tyron?
I'm doing well. How are you guys this morning?
Shit. We're doing great. What time is it in Hawaii, by the way? It's pretty early out there, is it not?
Yeah, about 6:30 in the morning right now.
Well,
I think I'm still adjusted to this. I'm still to the California time, so it's 2 hours behind California time. So it's not too bad.
I'm sure it's not too hard of an adjustment from I hear from all my Hawaiian friends. Tyron, hey, can you give me an update right now in your life? You were part of that Argos coaching staff last year. Do you know your future here going into 2020?
Right now, it's just just waiting on a couple coaches for a couple situations and see what move they want to make. But right now, I'm just sitting on ice.
I was not surprised when you got into the coaching game, and not shocked that it was with the Argos and with Corey Chamberlain. But now you're in it, man. It's quite a life to live. It's the nomadic lifestyle. You're somewhat new at it, but anybody that knows you knew that you would be a great coach. Has it lived up to everything that you expected that it would?
Yeah, it was everything that I thought it would be. I enjoyed every bit of it. It's something that I've grown to love. At first, it was coaching wasn't my passion. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And then when I got the opportunity to coach, I just fell absolutely in love with it. And it gives me an opportunity to be around the game and also teach the game. And as I'm growing, I'm helping these players grow to be the best they can be.
John Lynch here, Tyron. Taking a look at the Argos for next year, can you make a statement at all, or how they're going to be with Lindball taking over there and the new coach, which I'm quite surprised if they choose him. So how do things look from your point of view, just sort of as a bystander?
The organization is a good organization. They have an opportunity to be a good team. It's just a couple key positions that needs to be filled, and I think that that football team will be where it needs to be in the form of they were in 17 and championship years. But, it's a couple players, they need to move on with. And then there's a couple players that they need to add. I think they could be a great team.
Tyron, and we'll have Craig Smith jump in with some real nuts and bolts football questions too here in a minute. But friends, you wanted to jump forward, and that's fine. I just want to look back. It was 4-14, I believe, the Argos this year. Is there a misconception out there as to how the season went? As you look back, and you coaches all spend the time, grading your players, looking back, is there much that you would have changed? How do you look at the 2019 season?
I think we had some good players some good veteran players, and then we had a lot of young players, and then I think injuries also played a major part on it, especially for the defense side of the ball. We dealt with a lot of injuries and just kind of plugging guys here and there, and just never had that solid chemistry on defense. But they performed well in some ways. Offensively, I think that we did some good things. We put up yards, we put up the numbers, but we wasn't scoring touchdowns. And the object of the game is score touchdowns and stop the opponent from scoring, and we struggle with that.
Well, and you were in some tight ones too. I saw you at Touchdown Atlantic. Didn't go your way, but I was just telling somebody the other day, went down to the last play against Montreal. I'm pretty sure you've never been part of a Touchdown Atlantic. I hadn't. Can you talk about that game in Moncton that day and how much fun it was despite the heartbreak at the end?
Man, that was we had our foot on their throats and early in the game. We had a couple missed opportunities going into halftime. I think what did it was going into halftime, I think we were inside the 5. We fumbled the snap, and we could have scored going right before the half. And then we come out and kick the ball off, and we kick the ball out of bounds. And then the next play, we throw a deep ball for a touchdown. And when you're giving up explosions like that, and you're giving up stupid penalties and creating dumb plays such as that nature, it's very hard to win football games in any league.
Yeah, unforced errors. Over to you, Smitty.
Yeah. Hey, Brock, how you doing, man?
Hey, how we doing, Smitty? Long time no talk.
Yeah, this guy, I was in the league 19 years, and this guy was one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
He brought it all the time. He was one of the best free safeties that I've seen. I've seen a lot. Grady Cavness, Benny Thompson, this guy was one of the best. You obviously had success in Toronto. You got a ring from there, and then last year was not what you wanted. What about your future? What about irons in the fire right now? Are you looking across the CFL? How about NFL opportunities, or even college? Maybe going back to Wazoo, and what's going to happen?
Right now, I'm just exploring my options right now. Honestly, seeing what's out there for me. If it's CFL, I would love to get back into CFL, but if nothing happens there, I have to continue to move on. I can't just sit here and not do anything. I said I'm sitting on ice, but I'm actually working right now, keeping cool. Mm-hmm. I'm actually sitting in nice Hawaii and nice and warm, good weather. But I'm shopping around, making phone calls, sending in resumes, and doing everything it takes to put myself back in a spot.
You need a reference. Don't hesitate to put my name down. I'd love to do that for you. Now whereabouts are you living? Are you living in Hawaii right now, or are you back over on the mainland?
Yep. I'm in California, Riverside, California. Still out there.
Are you heading over to the bowl game to see Wazoo?
No. I will be here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And actually, T-Brack, it wasn't the last time we talked, but I think it was the last long interview we had. You were just getting into being a financial planner in Riverside, and I thought, boy, that sounds nice. And you were smiling, you were ready. Did you just miss football that much? Was that the deal? Because I know you well enough, and Smitty would agree, you're going to be a success at whatever you do, because you're a good guy, you're a smart guy, talented guy. Was it just that you missed ball?
No, actually, that field has not changed. I'm actually going back to school, and then I have classes in January from the 7th through the 10th, and then I'll be ready to take my investment license course.
Right.
I didn't finish it going into that 2017 season, and I'm going to finish it this time around. So, but nothing has changed in that aspect.
Good for you. Duty called. I get it. Frenzy, what do you got?
Tyron, what about Toronto in this situation? Can it be turned around? Can we get to a situation where the people in Toronto want to come to football games? I've been in that stadiums down there, and they've been filled over the past few years. So people down there know what football is all about. They don't want to come for some reason. Is the game not exciting enough, or what do you see?
Hey, you build what I said. You build the field, they all come. Well, if you build a winning program, they'll all come. In 2017, towards the end of the season, when we went on that winning streak and we went in through the playoffs, I mean, the stands were filled. So if you're winning football games, people are going to come. It's a great area. The field's right off the water. It's tons of people there. You just have to win ball games. Nobody wants to come to ball games and your team is not winning. It's a popular city. It's a front-runner city. You got tons of professional teams there. But people want to go into a winning atmosphere. People want to enjoy that energy. And when you win in ball games, people are going to come.
It's funny you say that. It reminds me of the Arizona Coyotes. I don't know if you spend any time in Arizona, but they have everything there. Same thing. Beautiful facility, beautiful area. People don't go, but now they're starting to win, and they're realizing it's the exact same thing. It reminds me very similar, even though it's hockey. We have a Argos season ticket holder writing in, Tyron, watching from Toronto this morning. He says, you and Coach Chamberlain utilized Alden Darby, one of the bright spots on a rough season defensively at Sam, corner and safety. Where do you think he's best utilized on the field?
Darby is his best position is free safety. That's where he made most of his plays. Reason why we utilize him in so many different positions, because he's a very smart and instinctive player. And he was able to fill in. He was like a seat filler for us. Whoever went down, we could put him in that position because he knew the ins and outs of the defense. But his best position was free safety.
Tyron, lastly, before we let you go, I can't get out of here without a rider question for you in the 2013 Grey Cup, because it's one of the most special teams in CFL history, and winning at home is rare. When you think about that day, that season, what do you think of?
Man, every time I go back, that was like a glorified home game. Like when you just when you look into the stands, it was just a sea of green. Hamilton had every bit of 13 fans. It was that game was so electrifying. I mean, it was weird how that whole week went. It was like negative 10,000, like the first couple of days of that week, and then going into game time, it just cleared up. The weather was perfect. It was crisp, clear skies, and it was just everything was just written for us to just take over that game and bring that championship, bring that Grey Cup back to Regina.
Not shockingly, we still talk about it almost every day around here. There was a bit of an argument came up this week. That did you practice indoors at all that week? Do you remember, or were you outside every day?
One time.
No, we went out to Moose Jaw like day one. And I think day 2, day 3, we went out there and practiced outside.
Yeah.
Well, it worked.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was way too cold those first days. I think didn't some guys on Hamilton get frostbite?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we all knew that it was going to be the Riders game on Sunday for sure.
Hey, you know what was crazy though in that game? Remember when doubles got hit and Corey
Fumbled
Sheets
it.
catches the ball in midair and marched down the field for about 20, 30 yards. From that point right there, we was like, oh yeah, we won this game.
We
They
knew
got
it
no
was
chance.
Yeah, but see, I can go on all day, T-Brock, with this because Ricky Foley says he knew you had it when you guys all burst out of the tunnel at once and you didn't wait for the individual introductions. Sheets has said the same thing. He knew it was your day, won that fumble that he recovered from doubles. Who was it? Somebody else said they knew that 36-1 at halftime. You had a pretty good idea you had it won. And then Brendan Labatt said he didn't even think you had it till doubles knelt down the last time. So everybody had a different take as to when you had it.
Nah, we knew once we was getting ready for that game, we knew we was gonna win. Because think about it, like the first time we played Hamilton, I think we goose egged them. I think it was like 50-0 first game of the season. I think we had like 13, 14 sacks against them. The second time we went out there to Guelph to play them, it was pretty bad. They just didn't match up with us well. We destroyed them. It was, but it was. Yeah, they had no chance, man.
It never gets old. No, T-Brack, thanks for the time. Continued success. Merry Christmas to your beautiful family. Still following you on Instagram and so forth. And we'll catch up with you in the new year.
All right, likewise. Happy holidays, fellas. Good talking with you guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Appreciate it.
Love you,
talking
Brack.
to you.
Love you, Brack.
Love you guys.
Tyron Brackenridge checking in from Hawaii this morning.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.